Welcome. I am so excited to be here with Madison to talk to you about her journey out of the classroom. Hey, Madison, how are you?
Hey Cindy, I'm doing great. How are you?
I am fantastic. So tell everybody, what did you do before?
So I was a middle school history teacher and I've been teaching for about 4 years, and I had a background in museum education as well.
What made you decide to leave teaching?
So I was feeling so burnt out. I wasn't sure how I was going to make it, thinking 20 plus years out until retirement. I was struggling every day. I felt, physically tired. I was emotionally and mentally drained. And just everything that's going on with education and what teachers are expected to do, running at 100% from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day, taking care of all those students every day as much as you love them. It really was just completely draining and overwhelming, and I decided that I needed to change.
Okay. And what are you doing now?
So I am a administrative assistant for a university in my city.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. So tell everybody, what was your career trajectory like? How was it difficult to get out of teaching? What did it look like before we met?
So before I started working with you, it was very daunting and overwhelming. I had no idea how to combine all of my experience and kind of market it on my resume. And I had been casually applying to jobs, but wasn't hearing anything back. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, at this point, it's going to take me 5 years to find a new job and get out of this position. And it's really scary when you have that feeling because you're so ready to leave, but you're not sure if it's the right decision.
Yes.
And yeah, it's just there's so many thoughts going into it. And so that's when I decided to look into a career coach, and I was just doing some research on LinkedIn and on Google, if that would be the right decision for me and how it could help me. Did I really need it? Because you can Google a lot of information out there. So is it worth the investment? And that's when I found you on LinkedIn, and your reviews spoke for themselves.
Oh,
And
thank
I
you.
felt like I really needed that one-on-one direction because I had already made the decision I was ready to leave. And again, I wasn't hearing anything back. And so I really needed that kick in the butt in that direction to get it going sooner rather than later.
Awesome. Awesome. Then we started working together. And what was that like?
Yeah, so it was a lot different than what I was doing on my own before. So it was completely redoing my resume, including all of the metrics and the keywords that I had in there. When I was applying before, I was just using one blanket resume for every job posting, so I wasn't editing per job posting. So I wasn't getting any of those keywords or phrases in the resume, and I wasn't organizing it, so I would just, apply randomly, maybe 1 or 2 a week, just kind of toss them out there and then not really think about it. So having that job search spreadsheet was amazing so I could keep track of everything, go back and follow up maybe on some if it was right for that job. And so I think just having direction and organization was super helpful because it gave you a path to go on. So it didn't feel like I was just floundering by myself. It gave you, some real direction and obviously got results. So
Well, thank you. It's a really isolating, lonely job to be
yeah.
job hunting. And, to piggyback on what you were talking about before, you're questioning, should I do this? Should I leave teaching? Which is such a daunting thought in and of itself. And then when it's so hard, it makes you doubt if you're even making the right decision.
Right. And then you go on LinkedIn and you see so many posts, in different teaching and education communities about teachers leaving and struggling during the job search, which isn't untrue, but just seeing all of those negative experiences and responses totally messes with you, and
Oh
you're,
my
doubting
goodness.
even more. Oh my gosh, do I want to go through this? Is this going to be my experience? Because you see some people saying, they've gone on like 70 interviews over the past 3 years and they haven't gotten anything and they're still teaching. And so seeing all of that is really just overwhelming and a negative experience. So to have somebody like you that's, has a path and say, this is the way to do it, this is how you need to follow it, and that's how you're going to get results, to kind of block out all that negative energy was extremely helpful.
Well, thank you. It is everything that you're going to read there on LinkedIn, it's
Hmm.
all negative, right? It's either I've
Yeah.
gone on 70 interviews, I haven't gotten the job, and that person clearly needs more interview practice.
Right.
Or it's, you're reading about everyone else who's getting the job, and you're like, well, but what about me? Why is this not working
Yeah.
for me?
Right, exactly. And so just seeing all that beforehand really had made me think, okay, well, maybe I should just stay and, deal with it for however many years and I'll just leave at some other point, or maybe I won't because I don't want to deal with this. And so that's why I said, okay, no, I do want to leave. I know that's the right decision. So I need somebody to help me and give me some sort of direction.
Well, I'm so glad you made that choice, and I know you're so glad you made that choice. So how
Yes.
is life better now?
Amazing. So I just want anybody to know that is watching this, if you're doubting it or, having some indecision, don't just do it. It is so amazing not teaching right now. So not having that stress, not feeling that overwhelming mental and physical fatigue every day. I have time for my family now. I have time to exercise and just do the sort of
Oh my
general
goodness, your whole
things.
life is back.
Yeah, exactly. It really feels like it. Even my husband has mentioned that seem like a totally different person and so much happier. I have, my energy and my positivity back, which is really awesome. And it's nice to just be at a job, where you're expected to do the job within your hours. And after that, you're not. You don't get bothered, you don't get phone calls, you don't get texts, you don't get emails. Um, nothing is a end of the world emergency. And I'm working at a college, so I still get a lot of interaction with students, which is awesome because, of course, that's, I think, what a lot of us miss out on is that interaction with the students and other educators. So I still get that, that environment, which is really awesome without all of the stressful parts of it.
How amazing, right? You get
Yes.
the best parts of it, and you're not doing lesson plans at 10 o'clock at night and grading
Right.
papers on Saturday morning. And
Yes. Yeah. So I'm helping all of the supporting the faculty so they can do those things, but I don't have to.
and you actually had time that you took on another contract position, something else that you're passionate about.
Yes, exactly. So once I started this new position, I had so much energy and extra time that I didn't have before. And so I went out and I was just kind of researching for something to do. And I ended up landing a online contract job for a US history reviewer. That's what I taught before was history. And so I just do that maybe 2 to 3 hours a week online where I review history content for an online education platform. And so it gives me that, that history and that curriculum writing that I love, and also a little bit of extra income on the side.
How awesome. Right?
Yes.
I mean, working in something in an ed tech field, every
Hmm.
teacher's dream, right? To be able to do that
Right.
and to be able to do it on your schedule and your time. Couple hours a week when I want to
Yes.
do it. There's no long-term commitment. You do it, you don't do it.
Right. It's
Something,
all the
and it
best
allows
parts.
you to keep what you love doing, which is US history, but not have to be grading those papers all the time and write. I mean, there's a lot of essays you were reading.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's all the best parts. It's looking at the content, writing the content, doing the research, and preparing it for students without all of that back end stressful work.
That is fantastic. I know that you took a tiny little pay cut when you came
Hmm.
to this position, and a lot of my teachers earn more money than they did as teaching. I know you
Hmm.
took a tiny pay cut, but you wanted to emphasize why that doesn't even matter.
Yeah, so I did take a pay cut to take this position from when I was teaching. And I was worried about that when I got the offer. I wasn't sure if I should take it, should I keep looking? But this was a position that I really wanted. I felt like it would be a good fit for me and a good landing place for me. And so I decided to go for it. And I can just say it has been totally worth it. So I know Cindy has touched on this before in different posts and videos, but looking at the benefits package, what does that provide? And the benefits package is amazing. So it pretty much adds up to what I was making before.
So that's
And
something that I'm glad that you mentioned that because
mhm,
that's something that people forget is that you may have a much better benefits package, and
right.
that's worth money. A great
Yeah.
benefits package could be like $20,000.
Right, exactly. So the benefits package, on the healthcare side, the retirement side is amazing. And then working at a university, one of the benefits is you can take classes for free. So
Oh,
you
wow.
can, right, so you can just audit a few classes, you can do an entire degree. So I was really interested in that for myself to, add some extra classes and some extra education onto my resume. So that was a consideration as well. And then just doing some research on this company and their employees and how most of them stay on and move within the company over the years. And that was something important to me because I had moved around a lot in my previous years,
Yes.
and so I wanted to be with a company that I could stay with but have growth within my own role. And so I reached out to some people on LinkedIn, in the community and kind of asked them what that experience was like. And they had nothing but positive feedback in that regard about, getting on maybe in an assistant role, but now they're the academic operations manager or they're the vice president of scheduling or, whatever it is. And so
Excuse
that
me.
was really worth it to me to, take that little bit of pay cut, but for a longer term payoff. I have to tell you, they still, the HR rep that was with me through the interview process loved the 30, 60, 90-day plan so much. Anytime I see her now, she still mentions it to me. She's like, I loved that so much. I had never seen that before. And so they just like love that, that type of thing so much. So it really just is in everything every day, which is so nice.
It's definitely helped so many of my clients nail it in that final interview.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
And I,
level of like, I'm coming in with this amount of preparation. So I love everything that you're saying. I mean, first off, you're getting to take courses. I mean, how
Mhm.
much money is that? If you want to go for another degree, we're talking tens of thousands of
Yeah,
dollars, more than
a
that.
lot.
Okay, that's a lot of money.
Right.
You can keep growing. And the fact that they promote from within and people stay
Mhm.
there for a long time means that, you perform well and you can have an amazing future.
Right, exactly. And so just taking all of that into consideration, because obviously it's a real consideration and it's kind of a bummer when you get that offer and it's lower than you wanted or anticipated. But looking at that overall and thinking, in the long term, the risk and reward for that was definitely worth it. And again, just having basically your life back and not being stressed all the time is, you can't put a price on that.
Okay, and that has got to be the best place to end.
Yes.
Getting your life back, okay, and not being stressed all the time. You can put a price tag on that
Yeah,
for
no.
sure. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Do you have any final words of advice for anybody that's looking to pivot out of teaching
Yeah.
or make any other career transition?
Yeah, I would say just take the leap and do it. I mean, I don't want to say that I wasn't scared. It was really scary, especially, when I put my resignation in, I left mid-year, so it was terrifying, I'm not gonna lie, but obviously working with Cindy made it a whole lot better and a
Thank
lot
you.
simpler, so I cannot recommend working with her enough, and I would say if you're thinking about it and it's something that's on your mind, to just do it, that's a sign that you're ready to go, and it's okay. If you do it and you decide, "You know what? I really do wanna go back to teaching," it's always gonna be there.
Well, thank you so much. It has been such a pleasure having you here. I'm so proud of you. It has been so amazing working with you. And I know that this is the beginning of unlimited success for you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Yes, thank you so much, Cindy, I truly could not have done it without you.
Thank you.